Shreya ma'am, can we start now?
Perfect. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, sure.
Okay, so I'm starting the recording. And Nahid?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me start it first.
Okay. Start कर दूं, ma'am?
Yeah, now you can start.
Okay. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, an initiative of the Government of India to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of progressive India and the glorious history of its people, culture, and achievements. Good evening, one and all present over here. I would like to extend my warm welcome to our honorable guest speaker, Shreya S. Ma'am, the respected teachers, and all our students. Due to some unavoidable circumstances, Principal Ma'am was unable to join the meeting today, but she has extended her wishes to everyone. I, Nahid Kausar, the President of Zoonomia, the Zoological Society of Kalindi College, welcome you all to this very interesting and informative skill workshop conducted under the aegis of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on the topic The Art of Facing an Interview, including the do's and don'ts related to it. An important step on the ladder of success is the interview, and knowing how to face it is half the battle won. With this, I would like to introduce today's guest speaker, professional coach Shreya S. Ma'am. She is an alumna of the University of Delhi, a seasoned professional coach and business trainer with an overall experience of a decade and a half. She has worked for both corporate and business schools. She has also conducted various guest lecture programs in the leading universities and business schools in US, India, and Singapore. Ma'am has coached a lot of corporate people, middle management, and has done CXO sessions for Fortune 500 companies. She has also delivered various scales effectiveness management, customer relationship management, strategic management, customer focused programs, and behavioral and leadership training for a couple of multinational companies. Ma'am has conducted training needs assessments to develop and implement training programs to maintain and improve employees' performing skill levels. Now, with further ado, I'd like to hand over my mic to Ma'am. Shreya Ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nahid, for a great introduction. Thank you all. I'm honored to go ahead and take this workshop today. It's a delight. And sure. So we all set to begin, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now let us go ahead and start. The topic is facing an interview. Why is it so critical? Why is it so crucial? And why is it so important to go ahead and, prepare ourselves in advance when we are facing for an interview? So somebody who wants to go ahead and talk about this. First of all, do we need to, do some pre-preparation before going for an interview? Or no, you think, no, it's not needed. I think probably I have my qualifications, I have topped the class, I'm all set. They should be knowing about it. So let's hear it from you. At least 2 or 3 people talk about, share your opinions, and then I'll take it on from there. Or should I call upon certain names? Okay. Sure. Anybody who wants to volunteer, or do you want me to pick some names myself? So I see Tanu Singh Vats. Do you want to share your opinion, Tanu? Oh, I think she's not there. Varsha ma'am, do you want to nominate 2 or 3 people who can talk? Shruti. Okay. Shruti, please go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Very good evening.
I think it's very necessary to prepare yourself before any interviews, since it's not just our qualifications that will speak, it's about us, what we are trying to convey and how we portray ourselves, that is apart from the CV or the resume we have applied for. And how do the way we interact or behave matters the most, and can be the main thing which decides if the person is admitted or not, recruited or not. So I guess
Perfect.
it's very important to, prepare beforehand.
Perfect. That sounds really great. And any sort of
Sure.
preparation agenda that you recommend that we should be following, or any pointers that we need to keep in mind for the preparation? Who would like to volunteer?
Diksha and Anushka have raised their hand, so they can come one by one.
Okay, Diksha,
Diksha?
go ahead.
Greetings, ma'am. Ma'am, in my opinion, getting ready for your interview needs a lots of preparation. The very first step is to check for are we going to wear on that day. And second thing is also to make ourselves accommodated with the judges who will be there. And also for whatever interview we are going, we should have a well research about the platform, but for the post that we are going to give interview for.
Perfect. And who was the next one, Varsha?
Anushka.
Good
Anushka
evening,
Singh.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, good
Ma'am, my
evening.
views are also similar to the other speakers. Like, we should always be prepared for any upcoming interview, because, ma'am, there is always a saying that practice makes a man perfect. So, as much we practice, there we generate a belief in one's own self, and confidence is one of the key booster for any interview. So, gradually by practicing, we get a confidence. Basically, the self confidence, that is the main element that required for any interview, and so we can ace the further preparation. That's why it is very necessary to be prepared rather than to just go and give an interview.
Absolutely. Very well said. I also see one or two people have messaged in the chat box. Again, it says confidence. Yes, of course, this is one of the biggest parameter that we need to be prepared. Sure. Any other opinions? Oh, okay. I'll just quickly go ahead and share my screen. 1 second. Please let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it is visible. Yeah.
Sure. So as you all said, it's extremely important that we need to go ahead and prepare ourselves in advance. First is, to eradicate the awkward moments that if you're prepared, it's half the battle won. And we'll further go ahead and see, what are the parameters, what are the patterns, which are pretty necessary to go ahead and prepare in advance, and also what else needs to be done, like see what is the company hiring, what are the offerings and all that. Let's go to this role play a little later, because you'll understand a little bit more. So this is again, we'll do a mock interview amongst a couple of people, and we'll see. But then now let's move on, and then we'll come back again. Now this slide that you see, what does it say? It says reality of hiring. Now, okay, I'm sure that most of the people are in the final years of your undergrads, and you might also have seen family members, friends who have graduated and gone to the interviews. Now, and a lot of companies come to the campus for the campus selection. Now, what do these people actually have in mind when they're coming to the campus? What exactly are they looking to? Anybody wants to share their opinion? I would recommend, let us go ahead and make this class as interactive as much as possible, because this ways it would actually answer all your queries, and you will be prepared of any you'll be clear of all the doubts that's coming up. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So now the question was, what exactly, do you think the companies are coming to your campus are expecting? First is they want the best talent, right? At the same time, see if and not just a best talent, but in, if it's the best candidate, what is that candidate looking for? Okay, now I want the best company. Like, I did put in a lot of efforts in my academics. I worked day and night, and I've got a great score. It could be both ways, right? Students gauging for the best company, and the companies which are really good gauging for the best students, right? So it's the best fitment both ways, correct?
Bhavya, do you
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
something?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Bhavya?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to say that companies generally look for those talents who have excel in all the fields, who have access all sort of internships, have a lot of experience, and who have set their foot in all types of talents. So they are not just looking for the person who is most academic or just most hardworking. They want all kinds of talent.
Absolutely. You got my point. I think, yeah. So you know that. I think a lot of people also started realizing it's just not the academic scores, it's just not the few toppers, but also a couple of other skills which are amalgamated in that person, in that individual, right? Very well said. Sure. Now let's go back. Now, what does it say? I mean, at a time when more and more employers are hiring for the fit and training for the skill, the interview is more than important. So this is a situation wherein, there are about 15, 20 candidates or much more number, but there are only very few posts, some 2 or 3. I also remember, sometime back when with a pharmaceutical company that I was reading an article, there were 3 or 4 roles, but people who have applied were close to 500, right? So at this time, what happens, not just for the candidates, but also for the hiring manager and the HR of that particular company, it is an extremely tedious job to screen them and get the talent that they are looking for, right? Now let us see whether you're looking for a new job, moving up and around in your organization, hoping to join a board or learn that committee position. Interviews are always involved. So now what happens in this scenario wherein, there is tough competition and you see that there are only few positions, but the number of students are more. Now, what exactly are we doing here? In case if we are in that particular position, Bhavya and Shruti, I think any thoughts from your side? What would you do in that scenario when you know that, okay, now you are fit. Now, how do we go ahead and, equip ourselves, enhance ourselves to go ahead and, pass the interview? What are we going to do?
Well, ma'am, foremostly, thing which was already discussed, that we should have confidence, and also it is not about being overconfident. Like, we should not like boast our things, but keep it minimalistic. That seems like our us. So that it seems that it's our strength, not that we are boasting something. And also we should be have some belief in our skills and in ourselves that we can do it.
Perfect. Sure.
Gungun has also raised her hand. Yes, Gungun?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I would love to say that I will believe in myself, and to be confident, I would try to explain them why I am a perfect fit among other students. I will tell them more about my skills, more about how passionate I am about this job.
Okay. Can you go ahead and verbalize it for me? That's a very good thing. Yeah. So you've analyzed, you've actually, penned down a couple of pointers saying now these 2 things are very important. That's very important. But can you just say 1 or 2 pointers on each?
Okay.
Just given it to me, Gungun.
Yeah, ma'am. Please, why not? If we talk about some leadership or something, I will try to explain them how qualitative points I do carry in myself to lead a team.
Mm-hmm. And what are those
And
points, if I may ask?
sorry,
What are those points that you want to highlight?
what are those points?
Yeah.
Okay, it's you're pretty okay.
I mean, you have those points ready-made, or it's okay. I mean, it's okay, but at least you know that you've bifurcated in those 2 parameters. Anybody
Yes, ma'am.
else? Yeah. Sure.
Anushka, you can.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to add something that at current scenario, when our generation faces the interview, we all are very much prepared. Like we know to speak the fantasized word, like we have a good leadership skills, management skills, task leader. But every time at the current scenario, we see the interviewer asks for the uniqueness that we possess than that of other candidates. Like I have faced many interviews, ma'am, where they clearly most of the time mention that already everyone said leadership management, what the uniqueness you possess. So ma'am, that uniqueness should be in everyone's matter, so that there could be a highlighting point that what you have that everyone does not have.
Absolutely, very well said. And I think I agree with the interviewer also when they say it is well done then said, right? Everybody, I'm actually saying, okay, I have leadership skills, I have, I'm in team leader skills, whatnot. But then it shows up, right? Good. But there should be certain quality. Once we go ahead and analyze ourselves, then we would understand, and probably the person who is actually interviewing, right? He or she is more matured, and she or he has done a lot of interviews. They know. So good that at least you know actually the phase of interview, how is it going, and what are the preparations that we need to do. Now let us go ahead and further look at the phase of the interview. Now it says, sure, interviewers want to know you can do the work. Like, every company is into different sort of products and offerings, right? Again, just like you said, it should be having a uniqueness. So their product is again having a unique set and a USP to offer to the market, right? At the same time, they would want to go ahead and evaluate, okay, now you fit into that organization, you fit into that family, and you're willing to grow, you're willing to learn, you're willing to become a team member within the team. So there are a lot of other parameters that, when the HR person is looking, they also looks at all these parameters. Like we just said, from our side, what are we going to talk about? Like you all said, okay, confidence, yes, of course, not just the academic qualifications, and also some other qualities like leadership skills and a certain other portray of skills. Now let's go forward. Now, other than just getting to know that you are fit to do that particular work in this particular project, what else are they looking for? They're also analyzing you on all these parameters listed here. First, how well can you communicate, right? Suppose we know that, you might have seen a lot of, this is generically said that, engineers are amazing in building in a lot of, softwares which are incredible. But when it comes to selling, there are a lot of management graduates who, gets into the market to sell the products which the engineers have done. And this is actually true. Like now the trend has been changing. A lot of engineers are also graduating into masters in management. Now, again, if these people have the skills of communicating and, understanding and make a sell as a sell, right? So confidence, yes, of course, is pretty important. That means you believe in yourself. You are there to offer something on the table. Second is, how well are you able to articulate it? How can we go ahead and communicate that, we do have that skill to go ahead and, fit into that channel, plug in ourselves into that channel, become a family member or become a team member. So it depends upon how well can we communicate. Again, when you talk about communication, it's just not verbal, right? It is again, divided into certain patterns, everything, non-verbal, body language, the way your confidence seems. Okay, now you are confident. If there's something lacking, you can believe in. But nervousness, everything shows up. It's an amalgamation of every way. It's just not the verbal communication that I'm talking up here. Okay. Now, next is package your experience. It says, what do you mean by this? What do you mean? Now when I say package your experience, who wants to go and talk about this?
May I?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so in my opinion, it is when we are in an interview, then we are a kind of product that wants to be sold out to the person who is interviewing us. So we should tell all the qualities that we possess without any, has hesitation, and all that we have done in a simple and concise manner.
Very good, very good. So, I mean, it is like, I mean, when actually you receive a gift, once you package it pretty well, it's so appealing that your friend gets to know, oh my God, it's a birthday gift from her. I'm sure there should be certain, pretty valuable thing inside. Similarly, we need to package ourselves. We need to analyze ourselves. We need to work on our positive points and package it in a way that, the other person on the other table gets to know, okay, now he or she is very well prepared. Okay, great. Anybody else wants to share?
You were saying something?
Well, mom, I suppose it's about how packaging the experience would mean how are we using or utilizing the experience we have gathered in a specific way. Suppose, for example, if a person is like our people say, like if a person is asking us to sell something at the moment, at the point of time of the interview, so how are we gonna use our experience which we have built over the years to actually do that and do in it a way that we become the one.
Absolutely, very well said. Okay, now the next point is tell your story. What do you mean by tell story? I mean, are we going to go ahead and read a story from a storybook, or what story are we talking about here?
Ma'am, here the story how I come for this interview, what I possess from, what's my university, what's my background here. Here we are talking about what's my background.
Absolutely. So, in a nutshell, you're talking about yourself, and in a very interesting way that the other person sitting across the table is not losing the interest. So, just like, if somebody starts telling a story, we are so keen in understanding what exactly has happened in the next phase, the next step, and ultimately what is the climax, right? So, build it in such a way that it should look like a story. Of course, your capabilities, your strengths, your qualifications, everything that you want to go ahead and say in a crisp way, but it should be like a story, so that be prepared that it should not be that, okay, I'm done with the interview, oh, I missed out this point. So that is why preparation in advance is extremely important. It's just not like, I mean, when we are appearing for an exam, okay, now we have an exam, we have 10 days to go, I've already read it, but, I need to brush it up. Similarly, when we are actually appearing for an interview, go ahead and, brush up. Write down whatever your positive points are. Write down what are you good at. Tell them, tell them what you believe in. Until and unless you do not go ahead and open your mouth, the other person is not going to get to know, because that is a short period of time that we are getting with them. 30 minutes, 40 minutes max, right? Nobody has that patience, this is a different world altogether. And one more thing I would like to ask you is, do you think the other person is going to read the resume completely from top to bottom that you have sent? What are your thoughts?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah, because
Ma'am, you can. Ma'am, I was saying like they're gonna receive so many of interviews, like thousands of resume and all. So they will highlight or they will just focus on the highlight points you mentioned in your resume. They just go through it, not thoroughly read it.
Absolutely. Good, and that too, it is not, an individual's, doing that. There are some back-end tools and the missions that they have. Once you put that word, your resume tops up and it highlights, okay, this person has that. And, that's the reason they pull up this, resumes with those highlighters. And the rest, in case the other resume is extremely good, but maybe he or she has missed out that, it goes. So, believe it, some people actually read. It's not that everybody, depending upon how crucial the position is, how good your resume is, some people get to read in case if they're interested. But if it's like, I'm in a deadline and they want to go ahead and ramp up the team, they do not have time, then in certain cases, this is how they actually do all the mission work. So you need to be really, really smart, as in, you have those qualifications, you're from a good university, you're from a good college. You need to put up and do an extreme work and rule out every phase which says, no, I can't do it there, right? Everybody has those unique features. So we all are doing well with our studies and all that. We've come up till here. We'll also go ahead and pass the rest of the thing also with confidence. So, you need to go ahead and do it well. And it says, if you work well with the team, if your values match the company and more. So now these are the additional analysis. Now, once the interview starts, this is all, they are going to go ahead and see, okay, now, is this a fit? Is she going to get up to the, competitiveness within the team? The more and more changes that's happening in an organization, sometimes with an unpredicted times like the pandemic, wherein, lots of companies have rolled out this virtual working environment and, work from home, remote. Some people have done 4:3 or 5:2, and some companies like the biggies have given the complete liberty of next 3-4 years absolute remote. So it doesn't bother them until and unless you actually get that work done. So can they trust you? In this unpredictable times, uncertainty times, that if they get you on board, are you going to sustain? Are you going to take up the pressure? Because there is nobody next to you standing to handhold you, which would have been there in a normal scenario when there was no pandemic and all that. Lots of things happening in the recruiter's mind also. Any questions so far?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, you said that we have to tell the company that yes, we would be able to handle the pressure and everything, but it's just that we're just sweetening up ourselves only.
Okay.
How do you do that? Without sounding to be overconfident, yet being very sure.
See, we can go ahead and tell whatever we want to, but when you say, okay, you can go ahead and take up the pressure and all that, it's on them whether they can gauge that confidence if you can take up the pressure or not. Because the person on the other side is more experienced, right? They can understand. It's not about sweetening. It's good that you talk up. Say that, give a scenario that, not just your work environment, maybe a college module or something that happened in your personal thing that, there was something, if you can give up a scenario example, nothing like that, right? Then probably it will actually, impress them saying, oh, now they're actually prepared. That means, yes, in case if there's a lot of accountability is given to this person, some pressure coming up from the project, he or she is ready to take it up like that.
Okay, ma'am.
It's all about advanced preparation. Believe me, the more you prepare, the more good you can make it. Now, I'm also going to highlight what exactly are we going to go ahead and see. You will learn how to impress in an interview from the moment you send your application to the follow-up email, as well as what we look as modern hiring managers. I think probably we've already covered the modern hiring managers. They're using machines and highlighting the words and all that. Because it's the crucial deadline at the other end. It's not even their fault, right? Some people who are genuinely... if they have time and if they're still using this, then, we are not to be blamed. That is how they are actually groomed up too. And again, now what I wanted to ask you is, what is the procedure that you think, other than just the companies coming to you for an interview, right? What is the procedure do you think that happens? Now, probably you look up on a website, apply for that role, then, prepare a resume, and then what happens next? Now, my question is, there are about 2 or 3 roles, but 100 people have applied. Do you think all the 100 people are going to get an interview letter?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Who would be screened now?
Okay. The screening process is there in place. What else?
And probably the phone or a virtual screening would be done.
Absolutely. Not just that, in case if you're really serious and if the hiring manager or, somebody's name that you found out who was actually the recruiter of that role is not responding, just go ahead, pick up the board number of the company, call them up. Hey, I've sent you an email. Can you just check? I think you can certainly go ahead and follow up. Just like we follow up if we place an Amazon order, if it's not coming and we have actually ordered a lucrative phone, we follow up with them, we track them, right? Similarly, go ahead and track politely saying, I've sent an email, just wanted to make sure that have you received it? and what is the procedure. So they'll let you know the further process. It again depends upon the seriousness from your side also. So there's certain, bifurcations or parameters or patterns each and every company follows. Now, see, I'm just talking about the learning outcomes and all that, but I also wanted to do a role play. Do you have your pen and paper ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what
Yes.
I want to do is, before I come to the slide, so what I want to come is, okay, now think that we are in a mock interview, right? I'll be taking an interview and I'll just randomly pick some 3 or 4 names. So probably you could definitely raise your hands in case if you want, just like Shruti and some other people have.
Like to ask a question about the third question you posed.
Sorry, go ahead.
Ma'am, you said what could I bring on the table? We have to write about that. But wouldn't it require a specific job profile which we are applying for? Like is it a marketing job or it is a financing job, some sort of like that?
Yeah, I mean, think it is a marketing intern or probably a project, I'm an intern.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Can I say what I read?
No, let them write down. Give me.
Okay.
Let them write down. Yeah. Let us
Okay,
have some 3 or 4 people, and then we'll take it ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let us wait for a few others to raise the arms, at least 4, 5, and then we'll take it up from there. Any new nominees? Okay, I see Diksha, Meenakshi, Gungun, Priya. Okay, great. Anybody else who wants to nominate? Is everyone ready otherwise from the writing?
Others have written something, or only 4 are there? Shruti is also there. Ritika is also there. Six students are there, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Gungan, go ahead.
Okay. I am Gungun. I belongs to commerce field and currently pursuing economics honors in Kalindi College. As you asked me that I have to write down some positive point or the qualities that I possessed. So that would like I am hardworking and value-driven person that blend competitive spirit and desire to serve with a sense of integrity and desire to give something back. I can manage my time and invest time to learn and adopt changes around me. I think I am perfect fit for your company. This is it.
Okay, so you've just written down the positive points. I asked you to prepare on all the three parameters. What is about us? How about the rest of them? Have you only touch based only on one pointers? Okay, that's a good try, Gungun. Anyways, I mean, it's a good try. Let's hear it from Priya. Priya, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Yeah. My name is Priya Muthura. I'm currently pursuing economics honors from Kalindi College. I'm an extrovert by nature. I love meeting new people, hearing about their life stories. Plus, I love traveling. I love experiencing new things, going on adventures. And my positives would be that I'm extremely hardworking. I am an amicable person, so I would easily gel out with people. And I would also motivate them to work as hard as I would. Plus, what I bring to the table, ma'am, that I've written a pretty generic sort of thing, not specific to a job role.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I bring team spirit to the table. I am very good at communication, so I would encourage people around me to work towards the goal. So that is one of the plus points. Along with that, I would also bring about confidence in my fellow peers to work as hard as I would.
Perfect. I think good. That's a good try. You've covered all the points.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Akarshi.
So, hello, ma'am. Greetings. And I would go with the way like this is Akarshi, and I'm from the zoology honors, pursuing zoology honors from the Kalindi College. I've done my schooling from this, and from my hometown, like Chandosi. And for the good points, I would go like a person who knows how to get the most of any case in a very less time-consuming way. And for the thing you asked, like what will be giving on the table, like what we would bring on the table, I would go for any project I have done in a previous company, or like any kind of example that I can show in a particular way, so that I can tell them that my talent in this particular field is in this way. Like I would definitely like to tell my talent in a file, like this is my marketing strategy, as you asked for the marketing strategy, and something like that.
Okay, good try. Meenakshi.
Ma'am, I want to answer your question. Tell me about yourself and what are your strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Meenakshi. I am from Delhi and doing my graduation in journalism and mass communication from Delhi University. During my schooling, I was the head girl of my school and represented my school at district. I like anchoring and writing. I am self-motivated, hardworking, and active, and multitasking, ambitious person. Currently, I am doing an internship with a social media page as a content writer and a graphic designer. If I talk about my hobbies, I like painting and writing. Talking about my strength, I am very eager person to learn the new things and enhance my skills. But my weakness is that I am an introvert person. But I'm trying to come out of this weakness, and for this, I try to talk to new persons and to overcome of this. Thank you.
Great. That's a good try, Meenakshi, but do not highlight your weaknesses until and unless you asked for. Okay. Shruti.
Yes, ma'am. So starting with about myself, I am Shruti Srivastav and I am currently studying BSc Botany Honors from Kalindi College. I am an avid reader and I have a keen interest in traveling, and I like to then capture all the memories via photographs. I'm also a good content writer and I'm working with a certain social media pages currently. Also, I have a very hardworking attitude with a positive competitive spirit, which can create a working environment among my peers. Also, about the positive things, I am a multitasker. I can handle various responsibility at a time and also handle them very keenly. Also, I am a perfectionist, so I require things that are appropriate, and I work for that too. I can lead well, and I have also have an encouraging spirit. Plus, I can always have the back of others. About the third one, I'm not quite sure, but I will give it a try. I'm comfortable with people, so I will be the worker bee amongst them, and definitely can also lead it like a queen bee. So,
Okay, good try. Diksha, you
Greetings,
there?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, while just a minute. Greetings, ma'am. This is Diksha Kajla this side, and I am from Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, and I have done my schooling from Meerut itself. When I talk about the qualities that I possess, so I think in these days one can be a good communicator, but taking feedbacks is something that is lacking in most of the people. So I am somebody who take feedbacks very, even criticism very frequently and very nicely, and I also work on myself when given a kind of feedback. Moreover, I do not procrastinate. So if in case you hire me, so I will be doing all my work in a given deadline and will not procrastinate things up to tomorrow, because I'm somebody who follows the rule of kaal kare so aaj kar. So when I am assigned something, I'll be doing that at the moment. Thank you.
So what are you doing? What is your major? Are you from botany or?
I'm doing political science honors from Kalindi College, and I'm also part of debating society of my college and also office bearer.
That's great. I could actually figure this out from the pointers very well. I think overall, Priya, are you there? Can you just read out? I wanted somebody to prepare like Priya. The reason is, I mean, Shruti, even your pointers were good, Meenakshi and the rest of them, your pointers were good. But then when you talk about it, I wanted it in a crisp way. Say it in few pointers and get it done. Priya, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read it again?
Ma'am, actually, I don't remember exactly what I said. I just wrote down the pointers and then I said
Okay. That's okay then. Okay. But anyways, we've heard what Priya said. That was a good try. And Diksha, I think, highlighted the taking feedback and criticism. That's an awesome point. But then, yeah, again, it depends upon speak that in a scenario when it could be heard. Awesome. Now let's move on. It's a good try, everybody, all the 6 of you. Now let's go back to the slide and.
Sorry for interruptions, but Dr. Shanuja has joined the meeting, so I welcome Dr. Shanuja.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Thank you so much, Varsha, and thank you so much, Shreya, for being present and being so kindly, graciously agreeing to give us this talk. I think what I can hear from the students, I think they're really doing a great job. I'm really happy to hear the students, in fact, speak so well. So you really, I think, brought out the best in them.
Thank you so much, ma'am. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Yeah.
This is continue. Yes. Thank you so much, Shreya.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you, Varsha. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now let's go back to the slide, girls. Now we were actually to see what are the learning outcomes. And the reason I asked you to go ahead and do a role play is to understand what exactly happens in the mock interview. And you've actually given you the best try. Now let us go ahead and see pointer by pointer. Now identify best practices for the interview process for before, during, and after. As I said, it's not only one time or one day thing. Why is it before? Because it's preparation, advanced preparation. Working on the resume in the latest pattern or the latest model that they want. And also, if you have an interview, studying about the company, doing the website research for some time, this gives a good idea to the interviewer saying that, okay, you're really keen on joining the company. Some people just walk in without looking at the website of the company, not exactly studying the pointers in the JD, the job description. So no, it doesn't work like that. If you really want to land up in a job, do your work well, do your homework better. not just your resume, not just about the pointers that we spoke up and we prepared in advance, but also do a little research on the website, the job description, the products and offerings as of now. And as you grow older and you become experienced professional, you would know more in depth what analysis you need to do going forward. But as of now, just working on the website for a few minutes is much more than enough. And during, again, what is needed? Why is this during? You need to actually gauge up a lot of confidence, right? Be prepared, be fresh, dress up in the coat that the company wants to see you. Now, if it's a virtual meeting, still dress up formal, because you're still at the end of the day, wanting to impress them. So be in your best attire. And after, in case if you do not listen to them, leave it to them and share after 2 or 3 days, probably drop in a polite message saying, I'm actually looking for the outcome. So these are the 3 steps that we need to follow, and it's not a one-day process. The more better we prepare, the more better chances we end up getting the job. Now, better package your story and experience in the interview. So we've already touched base this point, right? Why package? Because that is how they'll get to know what are the best pointers in you. Sometimes if we had a gloomy day some few days back and we're not able to prepare, and that day we're not, even if we have those skills, but it's just a bad day, we're not able to do it. No, don't do it. So still gauge that confidence, still gauge that, presence of mind and all that. Be prepared for the interview. It demonstrates strategies to make you stand out every time. Now, why is this important? Is this important at all?
Yes, ma'am, it's very important because in these big companies, n number of people apply, and if you're like one from the herd, they won't pick you.
True. And why is it important? Very true. I think very well explained. Why is it important? Why should we stand out? What is that it will give me when I stand out? Why can't I just be one of the crowd? Because the crowd is anyways moving forward. Why do I need to have that additional skill in me?
Because I want that job.
Okay, not just that job, but you need to actually showcase to them that you're ready to learn more, that you are ready to go ahead and do that additional work. See, every company actually works on a mission and a vision thing. They have their 5 years plan, 10 years plan, 20 years plan. Like, now they are operating at this revenue. After 5 years, they want to see themselves. So they definitely want to have key leaders or players who can make and contribute to the company, right? So similarly, if you have those additional skills to learn more, upgrade yourself in any field of yours, whatever majors you are, when they get to see that you have that skill, then of course you definitely stand out. Now, next is identify the most common interview mistakes and how to overcome them. So what are the most common interview mistakes? We've already done a role play. So what did we see? Otherwise, also from your own opinions, do you want to share?
Ma'am, we should dress professionally.
Okay.
Ma'am, we should keep our answers a little bit concise and precise.
Absolutely. Very good try.
Have a basic idea about the company.
Very good. Okay.
One should not be overconfident.
Very true.
And there should be formal communication rather than informal.
Very good. That's good. So you all have become good experts now. Good. Good
Not
try.
highlight our weaknesses.
Yeah. Not to highlight your weaknesses. No. Not at all. Very good.
And we should not show the false image of ourselves.
Absolutely. No. Why do you want to? There's always a way that we can learn and equip ourselves. So why do we give them a wrong picture at all, right? Correct. Anything else?
Even false data shouldn't be uploaded on the CVs and all.
Very true. Yeah, of course. Why is that? Why is that?
Probably if they found out that we wrote false information, we can be blacklisted forever.
So it is not just blacklisting. It doesn't happen overnight. But at the same time, if they're going to go ahead and get a project in that way, and if you're not able to answer, they'll get to know. Then your image would be at false. Okay. Good try. Any more answers?
Ma'am, sometimes they ask so many questions in such a way that they want to check our patience level. So that time we need not to gross out so aggressively. Just to either we cannot answer that properly, but the patience level and confidence level should be there.
Very true. Did you come across such a situation?
Ma'am, I am an office bearer, so I gave interview. And that time they were asking a lot of questions to me, and I made out that whether I would not be able to answer in such a way, but one thing that I should keep is the patience and the confidence level. And I think that because of that I got selected, because I was not mentally prepared for the interview. Somehow I reached.
Very good. Very good.
What best thing that I did from my side, that I haven't stopped at any answer. I didn't overshown them and answered patiently.
Very good. Very good. Awesome. That's nice. Sure. Okay, now let's go ahead. Now, the last thing says construct answers to the most common interview questions and scenarios. So you know that, you knew what mistakes people would do. The best thing is learn from the other people's mistakes. So let us have actually analyze those mistakes, prepare ourselves not to do those mistakes, and get up and work on them. Okay, now moving on next.
Ma'am?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ma'am, what if we prepare our answers and it seems like as if we're just ratified that answer when just vomiting out during the interview?
No, that's the wrong thing, right? I mean, this is not how it works. So if you ratify, if it doesn't work there, then I think it's just half the job done. That is not how you prepare, right? Similarly, if you have actually done that and you want to go ahead and do that in your own exam paper, sometimes you forget it. That's not actually the original skill. Understand what is it. That is the reason advanced preparation is much needed. Just like we sit for an exam, it is equally important we spend some time and prepare ourselves. In case if you do not know, ask somebody at home, ask your friends, ask your peers, ask your leaders, ask anybody in the college. And if you understand that pointer is better, then there's no need to ratify, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
True. Okay. Now benefits is, now we've actually worked on a couple of things that we have looked at, the common mistakes we do, how we need to go ahead and prepare much in advance to get up for the show, a lot of mock interviews that you guys can do it yourself, prepare your resume in such a way, highlight your internship experience, work yourself like a story, keep it crisp. Nobody has the time to go ahead and grill you more, believe me. See, I mean, it's just like this, if there's a new movie which is about to release, you see the trailer. If the trailer is good, you would want to watch it, otherwise not. As simple as that. If first 5 or 10 minutes of you is great, then they would ask you more, otherwise they'll finish off the interview. So be prepared, and the first couple of minutes are very crucial to win the show. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So this shows, once you prepare on all these parameters, I'm sure that you have a great chance in landing up a job. Ability to better communicate yourself, not just the confidence. Again, one thing which is really important, which we have, missed out, is presence of mind, right? Now we are so confident, we are actually highly educated, the best of college, the best of university, or I am the god. No, be a little polite, be a little calm. At the same time, be present in that scenario. Maybe we are so over prepared that we know that, the next question is going to be this. Just don't do that. Think about it. If a question comes up from the interviewer, give yourself some time to understand what exactly is that and what you want to answer yourself. So there should be some assimilation gap from the interviewer to you. Analyze what you're going to talk. Give 30 seconds to yourself and then speak. Right? Understand. Presence of mind, clarity of mind is extremely important, not just in interviews, in any other scenario. So you'll end up more chances of winning a job. So definitely, I already spoke, so it says higher likelihood of landing a job. Ability to demonstrate the soft skills employers are looking for. Never be overconfident, never be rude, never be in a high tone of pitch because you're the topper, or you may be whatnot. No, it doesn't matter to them. They're just looking for somebody who fits into that team. So you need to be like that way. So I think probably you can take a quick picture of this if you want on your phone. So these are a couple of key pointers to remember that we've already touched base. Be high in confidence. That means prepare well in advance. You'll definitely be in confidence. If you're not prepared, we'll be extremely nervous. Being nervous is also okay, but then not every time, right? First 1 or 2 interviews, it's fine, but not always. Now, what are they doing? They are trying to get the best of the talent. So, what do you need to do? You have those skills, polish yourself and prepare. Just like if we are participating in a running race or some race, we do some preparation, right? Now, this is a lifetime opportunity to win a job. So, why not be prepared? We've already done a lot of parts, like the scores and the academics and all that. Certain other things, ingredients, and make it a awesome dish. So it all goes in preparation in advance. Now, in case if it depends upon again which majors you come from, if it's a product or technology, you want to go ahead and polish in, just go ahead and do that preparation. And at the same time, as it says, everybody's key interest area is different. Somebody may want to get into marketing, finance, again. So analyze yourself where you can contribute the best, then it would be awesome. You'll be happy working. It doesn't look like a job, but it looks like more of a passion. And at the same time, be ready with the parameters you're looking in a job. And again, it depends upon, even if it's the same industry, there are a lot of roles. Again, depending upon your skill set, what is that you could contribute to that particular role? And then you could fare well. So I think we're almost done. Any questions, I'll be more happy to answer.
Diksha, yes, you can ask. Diksha, after that, Shruti, you can ask.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I wanted to ask. You said just a minute ago, you mentioned that we should not pretend. So, in case we don't have good communication skills, but communication skills are key. So, what to do in that situation?
You need to prepare it. You need to take some advanced classes, prepare yourself. It's not a one-day game show. Just like we prepare for a marathon or a run race, it should be a continuous improvement. You need to work on it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
I see 5 raised hands. Who are those 5?
Meenakshi, you can ask.
Go ahead.
Shruti, if you are there, you can ask also.
Okay. So, ma'am, I wanted to. You mentioned that there should be a historical background or a historical presentation of yourself. So, can you give an example of that?
What presentation? Historical.
Historical, you said, no. In a story format or in a story.
No. It is not a story format. See, whatever it is, see, I think you've already said that, you are so and so, come from, these are your academics and, you are this, are your interest. And in case if some scenario falls, probably, what should I say? Okay, now I'll throw a scenario, probably understand how do you do it. So, think that you're a project manager and there are about 10 people working for you and 2 people have resigned or probably have fallen sick due to COVID and they're not available for next 15 days. But you have a crucial deadline coming up. What will you do in this scenario?
I'll probably divide the work they have into equally among the members who are there and also for myself too.
That is very well said, but they already have a lot of, work on the plates. They are not willing to take it. Then
I'll have to do it by myself.
How can you do, Shruti?
Few people who are capable of doing this, because we are trying to make a difference here, they are also trying to make a difference there.
So what are you trying to do? I didn't understand. What did you say?
Like I'm saying, if we are trying to make us different and stand differently amongst the others, so we'll definitely have to try more than what we could do. So I suppose people would be there still working for their promotions and everything. So I believe if they have the zeal, they can do it.
That's a good try. Okay, what else will you do? So it's just like, as you said that, I first of all, there are a few. Second is, okay, now there's a promotion coming up. Probably I'm going to give you a positive rate or probably I'm going to compensate the double pay till the time I find another resource. Now, these are all certain things. So they'll throw you some scenarios and you need to come up with a story or probably the way you want to go ahead and deal that particular situation. So that is all what it is. Okay. Can we move on to the next person? Meenakshi, Anushta, Priya, Gungun.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to ask something.
Okay.
Ma'am, as we know, every person is not perfect, and it is not possible that we know all the questions that will be asked to us by an interviewer. Then, how to cope with that situation where we don't know the answer of a question asked by an interviewer?
Okay, that's a good question, actually. Very good. So, politely say that, you do not know and willing to learn. If it is out of your, thing, I think you can always say that, I may not be knowing now, but then once I start working with you, I'll get to know.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, one more question is that in every interview we face a question: why do you want to do this job, or why do you want to join this field? Then, what is the way to answer this question?
Why don't you answer now that you've raised this question? So before you go, you have actually you have an interest in joining that company, right? So you have your own ambitions, you have your goals, and you think that company is going to fulfill. So say that you're well qualified and you think once you are given a chance, I'm sure that I can contribute to the company and the success of the company. So that's the reason I'm here. Next.
May I?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I just want to ask one thing that in some of the interviews, at the end of the interview, interviewer asked us like, do you have any question? That should we ask them? Does it leave any impression on them?
Yeah, of course. I think yes. Why not? I mean, they are giving you a chance to go ahead and ask. Why won't you utilize it? Go ahead and ask whatever questions you want. Yeah, you can ask.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. As in, what are you going to ask?
No, I'm just normally saying like we can ask whatever we want to ask.
Yeah, pertaining to the company and your position, not outside of it.
Okay. And one advice I want to ask is like in coming 2-3 days, I have an actors interview, which is a society in our college. Like, how can I present myself like I am the fit for that thing? Any advice that you can give me?
So, do you believe, first of all, are you fit for it?
Yes, I do believe, and I passionately want to join that society.
So why don't you go ahead and pen down all your qualities that you think that they're matching to the skill in the JD that they've put in the job description. So it's halfway done, right? Go ahead and be vocal about the qualities or probably the way you're going to go ahead and contribute to that society. What is the society about?
An active society, social entrepreneurship.
Oh, okay, great. So if you believe that you have the qualities, I don't think, of course, the final judgment is this. But if they feel that you are a fitment, I don't see what is stopping. But then definitely put in a way or a format that they want to see your profile, or go to an agency, build up a profile, take some training. That would be do. And even the company that I'm, associated, I'll just show you the last slide. You can take a picture of that. Even that company.
Yes, ma'am, I take it.
Yeah, it actually trains you on the communication skills, building up the resume, how to talk, the mock interviews and all that. I'll display it. And then I think we have Priya, Anushta, right? I'll just go back to the slides so that I don't miss on this.
Okay, ma'am. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So I think, you can click a picture of this and send an email to the email address. They'll help you in the resume preparation. This is my email ID, but I'll route it to somebody since you guys have spoken to me. So they'll help you in the mock interviews. They'll help you in the resume preparation. You can tell them what sort of industry you're aiming to. They can also help you on the LinkedIn portfolio. Also, as I said, it's all about the mission search. Sometimes if it's a crucial role that has floated, and highlighting your resume with the key pointers, as these people work on the key pointers and preparing you for that particular day. They'll guide you, they'll coach you, they'll actually, do the complete handholding.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So you can keep, take a pic and have this handy, and then probably send a WhatsApp message or a message. And so this is how, I mean, we've spoken about, ask the interviewer. If the interviewer is giving you a chance, of course, do not hesitate. Go ahead and, ask the questions about, probably you want to know more about the company or whatever pointers that you want to. And okay, now I'll move to the slide. Any other questions? We have other 2-3 people. Please ask your questions.
Ma'am,
Yeah, go ahead.
in interviews, they generally ask this question: where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Like 5 years down the line, where do you see yourself? So, what is like the ideal kind of answer to that question?
Give me your answer first of all. I know it's a pretty common thing, especially for the newcomers. So, what's your answer going to be?
Like when I would graduate and then I would be applying for the job, I would say that 5 years down the line, I would see myself with an MBA degree and working in New York.
Yeah, talk about your passion, whatever it is, right? So they definitely here the main focus they want to see is whether you're really career oriented. Some people are not, right?
Okay.
Then they would be missing on, because if the company is recruiting you, they're also investing a lot of time in training you for a couple of weeks on that particular offering or product. So that's an investment they're doing. And again, if some people leave after a few months, it's a loss for the company. How? Because again, the job description should go in the market, the recruiter should actually find, again, the screening. So it's a waste of time. So that is how, first and the foremost thing is they're seeing whether really some person who's at the other end is serious in landing up a job and contributing to the company. And, there's certain parameters, and are they willing to grow, or they're just coming for a 9-to-5 job, take some, whatever salary that they're getting, or they really are keen to grow up the ladder. So that is why they ask you this.
Okay, ma'am, one other question. You said that you have to make your resume stand out. How do we actually do that? Like, obviously, like there are like hundreds of people who have the same kind of degree. But how do you make your resume like cross the line so that you get the next interview?
So there's no hard and fast rule. It depends upon your skills that you need to highlight. You need to approach a expert to help you in, drafting your resume in case if you're not there. So this is not a one-line answer that I could do, but then, practice makes a man perfect. So go ahead and, draft and see again in case if you can add on after a few days or weeks after your internship. That is how you make it.
How long is a resume generally?
So I think for the freshers, it's usually about a page and a half in a fashion that you talk about your internships, you talk about, the key qualities that you have and your academics. And as you grow up the ladder, if you have already, handled a couple of positions in a corporate, then I think it will definitely move on to a 2 or 3 or more.
Okay, ma'am.
Other questions?
Ma'am, regarding your answer, which you answered right now about the 5-year thing. So if suppose we want to pursue higher studies, so should we actually mention that? Since they are looking for a person who can carry on for longer, so should we actually mention about the higher study part?
You can definitely mention, but say that you want to actually get the experience for at least 3 or 4 good years, so that you understand what is the masters that you want to do later. Don't just tell them that next year I'm going to go.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions,
Ma'am? Ma'am, as they ask that, tell us about your strengths. So, through some phases of life, we realize or discover our strength. So so we can tell that. But sometimes they ask us to justify it. So we can't tell a complete story of our life in front of them. So how to quick sum that in few points? How to justify our that strength in quick few points?
So if they ask you the strengths, what are the strengths that you have said?
Ma'am, I would have said that I'm very hardworking personality, and I'm very logical and critical thinking person, and I always remain positive in all the situation. Means I always try to look the positive side of the situation.
Okay, when you said that you're logical and critical, I'm sure that when you say that you are, there should be a lot of incidents. So pick up something very professional or something academic that you do not want to share your personal life, and share it as an example. Okay, you've landed in this situation, so this is what I did to come out of it in 1 or 2 liners. Though you don't need to give you the complete story of your personal life, it's not necessary. They're really trying to see if you really have the quality, but not everybody would ask that. So in case if they've asked that, probably it's the role relevant hiring. It could be that.
And ma'am, sometimes they ask us to defend your personality for this post. So again, that same question, how to quick sum that in few points?
Which company? Give me an example.
No, ma'am, not for. I mean, right now I'm not looking for a company, but as when I appeared in the interview of the office bearer, they asked me this question, and unfortunately, this question has been diverted in some other way, as another teacher has asked some other questions. So this answer has not been delivered out, but still that question remain inside my mind.
So what is that question? Can you just repeat?
Ma'am, a teacher asked me that Anushka, tell me how you defend your personality for this post. Later, it has been diverted to another topic, but the answer the question remained unanswered.
See, this is a critical and a crucial post, right? You're representing your college, or you're representing an organization if it's an office bearer. So it is crucial for them to ask. So they definitely want to pick and choose somebody who is extremely fit in for that. So they're not wrong when they're asking. Of course, if we're not come across something, of course, it's a strange situation, but it's just a part. So if you've applied for a certain critical role, I'm sure, analyze your strengths. Get in touch with a coach or somebody, previous office bearers. What was the role about? How did it go? And, what are the critical situations they can come across? Do your homework much in advance, couple of weeks or couple of days before you go there. See, again, everything is not short giveaways. You need to learn it, right? And polish it. That is
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? Or are we all done? Do we have any more questions, please?
Anyone? So I am giving a link for the feedback in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback form. I will also circulate this link in the mail also. Yeah.
Ma'am, we had the vote of thanks.
Yeah, that is there. But by the time you are saying,
okay.
thanking our guest, by that time they can fill this form. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first, I would like to thank Shreya ma'am for giving us such a wonderful experience and making this session interactive session. And thanks to all students also जो इतना keen interest दिखाए हैं इसमें, and they have asked their queries and they have questions. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Varsha. It was pleasure.
It was pleasure to us also, ma'am.
Thank you.
So over to Nahid.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Shreya, ma'am, it was indeed a very informative workshop. We definitely learned a lot. I'd like to now call upon Palak to give the vote of thanks. Palak?
Thank you, Nahidi. Please let me know if I am audible or not.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So, good evening, all. On behalf of faculty and students of Zoonomia, the Zoological Society of Kalindi College, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to our respected guest speaker, Shreya S. Ma'am. We are enlightened with your knowledge and presence, ma'am. Thank you for sharing such valuable lessons with us. This is really going to help us in facing the interviews better with confidence, ma'am. And ma'am, I personally liked your each and every line. So we are really thankful to you. And a special thank to our principal, Professor Nana Hasija ma'am, for her enthusiastic support. Also, I would like to thank our program coordinator, Dr. Shanuja ma'am, convener, Dr. Varsha ma'am, and co-convener, Dr. Rani Kumari ma'am. for organizing a webinar like this, which gave us all valuable tips and lessons. Thank you for your unflinching support and coordination, and also special thank to all of our for your active participation. And with these warm words and wishes, we now move to the end of today's webinar. So thank you all. And a special thank to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks, Palak. Thanks, Nahid. Thank you so much, Dr. Varsha and everybody. It was extremely pleasure hosting the session also. And I guess probably you would try and implement those pointers, and wish you all the very best for your job and job success.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Pleasure is mine. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, students. And be in touch with ma'am if you have any further queries when you face an interview. Ma'am has given email ID and other details.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. Yeah.
So I think I can stop this.
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Varsha. I think I'll give you a call, and thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.